Welcome to a brand new episode of the Real Life Podcast, a member of the Nation Network of Podcasts and delivered by DoorDash.
Welcome to Real Life, everyone. What is going on right now?
I think that I'm in love with Matthew Tkachuk.
Are you guys all drunk?
Welcome in. Episode 312 of the Real Life Podcast. Happy Thursday. As always, we are brought to you by the HGA Group, next generation of business services. They are here to serve you better and make your business better. Gotta love the HGA Group. It's just the Yaremchuk and Baggedmilk show as we welcome everyone back from a long weekend.
It's been a while since we've done one of these.
I know. It's always a good time. I will say, though, Jay keeps trying to get into the Zoom call, but every time I hit admit, he just leaves the Zoom call. So Jay might be bouncing around, but until then, it's just the two of us.
So this week, I've been doing a lot of interviews for video editors and videographers and just all kinds of just content people for both Oilers Nation and around the network. Mm-hmm. So what I was doing is kind of like pre-scheduling Zoom calls. So like, cause I was going 3:30, 4:30 kind of thing. Yeah. So I pre-schedule Zoom calls, and it was funny because Jay would always hop into the wrong one that was like ahead of schedule. And then it's a work in progress with him sometimes. He's getting very old, Tyler, you know?
It just happened a third time, actually. So I just texted him and said, why do you keep joining, then leaving? My favorite Jay thing is whenever he calls you for anything, you'll always pick up and be like, hey, Jay, how's it going? He'll go, oh, 1 second. I'm just getting my AirPods in, like consistently. The man. And he's always like, oh, the fucking Bluetooth won't work on these. As soon as he figures that out.
It's either the Bluetooth or, again, when Jay calls you, he'll be like, hang on, I just got to take this call real quick. And I'll just say hello. I'll be like, hello? He's like, hang on 1 second. And then he goes and then comes back.
So okay, so wait, hold up. Jay is in, but he doesn't have his phone or video on. So he might be able to hear us talk about him, but I don't know if he is.
But he is also on mute. I see. No, he's gone again.
He's gone now. Okay. Well, no idea if we are getting Jay. We also have a limited number of topics. These are always the shows where I wish Wanye's here because he's usually good at supplying us with nonsense to talk about. Holy shit, Jay, figure it out, man. No,
I've got nonsense to talk about if you want.
What's up?
You know what? Still on mute. Let's see if we get it. Round 5. Jay Down, can he join the Real Life Podcast? Episode 1-3 something. He's in? He's not. All right.
I asked him to start his videos. It won't happen. I saw you wrote a little Kool-Aid piece at the Nation.
Man, I'm starting to get excited. You know, it's like, it's that nice period before the season starts where you're just looking forward to getting going. And I know we talked about on Oilers Nation Radio on Friday that the preseason's way too long. It is what it is. But you know what? I'm excited to go. So I was thinking about it, looking around Twitter. People are a little bit salty still sometimes about the defense or goaltending or whatever. But like, we got time to complain about that. Right now, mid-September is the time to get excited about the Oilers, excited about hockey. It's the best time of year because the sky's the limit in terms of what could happen. And we haven't had anything ruined yet.
I like that. A good positive outlook. Jay is finally here. Hello, Jay.
Guys, 1 second. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Holy fuck. So I'm in the truck and for some reason I keep getting into the Zoom room, but it won't let me unmute my mic. Anyways, how you doing? I got here.
We're good. Yeah. On? It was just the Yaremchuk and Baggedmilk show.
Yeah. I can hear you slagging me, Baggedmilk. I'm still young at heart, you asshole.
Well, you weren't here, so I had to take my shots while I could. You know?
Yeah, no, fuck.
We were talking about our favorite Jay sort of like conversation things that happen. And mine is every time I call you, your AirPods are never working, and you always need 3 or 4 minutes to work out the AirPods.
Well, I've been using my AirPods a lot because of the pandemic. And then I recently temporarily lost my AirPods and then had to go buy new AirPods. So now I'm back to like my AirPod connectivity game is strong again, but it was getting real fucking annoying there for a bit.
So we had made a side deal also, just checking in on that. You have not located the old AirPods yet.
I actually have.
Oh, we have a conversation to have later.
Oh, well, you're incompetent. They're in heat. Those things are highly sought after.
This is bullshit. Bullshit. A deal was made. A card was laid. A card was played.
I know. I've got a roommate who is trying to stake claim.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, I feel like she has an advantage, you know?
Yeah.
So is the story here that Jay found his old AirPods, Baggedmilk? You wanted them, but the missus got them?
We made a side deal. I felt like when we went out for dinner last week, that if he found the old ones, I would buy them from him. But I understand roommate politics. And they always ruin side deals. Well, not always.
But they just get in the way, don't they?
Yep. Roommate politics always step in the way of side deals.
So I was convinced, absolutely convinced, I left them at Dog Patch. I came there after the Nation Golf Tournament to work in the afternoon. I was clearly delicate. I went for a walk out and around Riverdale, did a call, and then I swear I put them in my car or something, but I might have brought them into Dog Patch, and then I left Dog Patch and I go home later that night. Fast forward to Monday, my next day at work, and I go to look for my AirPods. They are nowhere to be found. They're not in my car. They're not at home. And I'm like, yes, I left them at Dog Patch because that's when I'm connecting. That's where I last was when I had them. Well, somehow they made it back into my golf bag after I had already pulled them out of my golf bag. And that's where I found them a week later.
You had already purchased new AirPods.
But I'd already purchased new AirPods because I was writing them. I did one last. I'm like, maybe I like to leave stuff, the pouches of my hoodies. I'm like, that's my last ditch effort. So I walked to the Apple store. I'm like, I need new AirPods. And they're like, are you sure? Like, you can do the Find My iPods, the AirPods thing. I'm like, yeah, I didn't set it up. They're like, well, okay, you have 2 weeks to return. I'm like, you know what? I had an epiphany. Could be in a hoodie, a Bunny Hugs pouch, and made the phone call, went through the laundry, nothing to be found, pulled trigger on the AirPods to literally like 24 hours later, find them in my golf bag randomly.
Happens to the best of us.
That's a tough break.
Yep.
That's a $300 swing right there. They don't give them away.
You went with the pros.
You went like all the way for the high end ones.
Well, like, hey,
wow,
sure.
You're gonna get your feet wet. You might as well go swimming, I suppose.
Well, that's what I had before. I bought. So that was my COVID present to myself, was my AirPods, because I was literally during COVID, during the lockdown, all I did was walk aimlessly around my neighborhood on phone calls. That was it. Noodle calls, nation calls, everything was a call. Everything was on fire. But I had the normal earphones. So the microphone's rubbing against my jacket and I'm driving everyone crazy. I'm driving you crazy, Remchuck. And then also like, I'm a hand talker. I like to move and swing my hands when I walk too. I kept smacking the cord and my phone would fly out of my pocket and then smash on the ground, or the earphones would rip out of my ears. And I don't know about you, it hurts when you rip those earphones out of your ears. So, I bought the AirPods like a present to myself because I knew I was going to be doing a lot of phone calls. I also owed it to the show. I owed it to you, Remchuck, to do something better for my own personal audio. So I did it. So there's like a sentimental value. So to lose them, I had to get them back. I needed them back fast because I've now built a void in my life.
I do like the part of the story where it wasn't just for Jay, it was also for Tyler. And I think that's important to highlight in this story.
Yeah, I like that I got roped into that.
Yeah, of course.
We call that the Rick conundrum with the beard rubbing, you know?
Oh, fuck. Yeah. I'm actually in the market to buy myself some AirPods as well. I've never had
Looks like
any.
I am too.
Let's see, Baggedmilk. Maybe we can see if someone has like a good 2-for-1 for us and we can split up the cost. If anyone out there.
Nothing Apple is ever on sale.
No, yeah, the Apple sale price is fuck you buy it. And you're like, okay.
You pay the gold price for those.
Yep.
And if they are on sale, it's only because they're 2 weeks away from launching new products and they're trying to rope you into buying the old ones.
Or it's with a very complicated rebate where you have to answer a series of questions and riddles before you get your check back.
All right. Like I said, I don't really have a ton written
We're
down
talking
here.
Kool-Aid season. I know Jay.
Yeah, we were
Kool-Aid season.
Jay, Kool-Aid season?
Oh, this is my favorite type of season. The season hasn't started yet. We're still going 82-0. Everything is fucking awesome. We haven't signed Yamo yet, but that's okay because we'll get it done. And yeah, no, I'm. This is the best part. It's all the excitement. Football's starting today. That's also exciting. I'm wearing my Browns t-shirt right now because I just placed a decent size wager on them to win the Super Bowl.
Really?
And yeah, buddy. I'll be doing the same thing for the Oilers here in but 2 weeks.
Tyler, you putting any bets down on foosball?
Yeah. I mean, you know me, I'm an absolute degenerate. So I'm in my fantasy leagues. I'll touch on the real life fantasy league in just a second here. And then I laid a wager that is the largest single wager of my life. Actually, I've never bet this much on one thing, and it's on the Buffalo Bills to win more than 11 games this season. That's my big one, man. I'm kind of all in. I mean, obviously I'm a massive Bills fan. But I looked at their schedule. They covered that easily last year. Right. And now I'm looking at it going, there's one more game in the schedule. They aren't playing too many really, really good teams. There's kind of 4 games that I consider like a coin toss, or 4 games where they might be underdogs. So last year they won 13 out of 16. For them to win, I need 12 out of 17 now to cover my bet. I like that. I like that a lot.
If we're gonna, sorry, go ahead, Jay.
Is Jay gone?
All right. So I'll bring it back to the Oilers here again, Tyler. If you're doing that same bet, okay.
Yeah. For
the Edmonton Oilers 82 game season, we're back. What would your line be where you're going to bet over? Would it be 40 wins? 41 wins?
Okay. So last year they managed to pick up 35 wins in 56 games, which is insane. They did so good last year. So 35 divided by 56 times 82. That would be a 51 win season.
All right. So there's your line. 51.
What are the odds paying on that, your Chuck?
I haven't actually seen that. We're just coming up with that on the spot.
We're coming up with hypotheticals.
No. On your Buffalo bet. Sorry. You know what? It's very on brand. I'm trying to connect to my AirPods right now and it ain't working. And you know what? I'm using my old ones. And that's why.
So over 11 wins, which means if it is 11, you get a push. It was minus 110 a couple weeks ago, but by the time I ponied up the money to bet on it, it shifted to minus 135.
You pay. The juice isn't worth the squeeze, man.
Yes, it is.
Minus 135?
That's almost double.
What if Josh Allen gets hurt in week 3?
Then at that point they're 3-0, and I still think they might win 8 more games.
Well, to be fair, if you'll be happy to know that my hedge bet against the Browns win the Super Bowl is the Bills win the Super Bowl.
Hell yeah, it is. Anyways, Oilers over 51.5 wins. I don't know if I would take that. You know me, I'm a homer. I love the Oil, but that's a lot. Tricky. And their goal, and I don't trust their goaltending. 10
games. That's 10 games over 500.
I think they'll be close. Do you think the Oilers can really be a 100-point team this year?
Yeah.
Okay, so what we were saying.
What time of year is it right now?
I know it's Kool-Aid season, and I honestly probably would bet on them to be a 100-point team as well. I just don't know if it's a division. I just don't know if it's
your line. Jay, what's your line for bet? If we're looking at the over on Oilers wins, where do you start? Where do you stop going over?
Okay.
Because 51 wins, that's a hell of a year.
That's a hell of a year. Well, sorry, that has to include overtime. That's the thing that kind of fucks things up. So maybe 51 wins is a little bit better than what I'm thinking it is.
And there's no 9 games against Ottawa this year. I mean, they're gonna have different teams that beat up on
51 wins. I think they're definitely easy. I guess maybe it's tough for me to land on the wins, but it's maybe more on the points.
Yeah. Okay. Would you bet over 100 points?
Yes.
Because I think they could come in around, I think 48, 49 is a really, really good target for them this year.
Yeah.
And then they'll pick up 3 or 4 OT losses.
Yeah.
But 51 wins straight up, it's a lot. We're going to be doing a ton of season preview stuff, but I will say this, like looking around the NHL, there's a few teams this year that I'm very excited to like actively bet against. I think like the Minnesota,
I want to know
the Minnesota Wild, they're same Stanley Cup odds as the Edmonton Oilers right now. Right now with Kaprizov still unresolved. I know Cam Talbot had a great season last year, but I mean, we know here in Edmonton that when he gets overworked, sometimes the results kind of drop off significantly. So like I could see them struggling a little bit between the pipes. I don't love Capo Kakinen. I think he could be a career backup. But like the Wild being as high on that Stanley Cup list as they are leads me to believe there might be an opportunity to fade them a little bit. I'm not huge on the Vegas Golden Knights heading into this season. They didn't fix their center depth that much. Nolan Patrick's too much of a gamble. They lost Fleury and replaced him with Laurent Brossoit. They got some guys getting older. I don't love Vegas. And Chicago's the other team that I'm absolutely fading. The sportsbooks, they don't love them. They have them at 50-1 to win the cup. But I think there's a lot of like public hype regarding the Chicago Blackhawks. And I'm not sold on their offseason either. Like I don't love Seth Jones. I think he's a good defenseman, but he's not a franchise altering D-man, which is what they paid him to be.
I do like the Fleury trade for absolutely nothing though.
Yeah, the Fleury trade's good, and they'll have Jonathan Taves back. So there are some reasons to like the Blackhawks, and they should be better than they were last year, but like I don't think they're competing for that division or anything crazy like that.
Where are the Jets?
Jets are going to be good. They annoy me.
Jets scare me.
Jets are 40-1, and that's good value, man. Like, I mean, you just look at that team. They fixed up their blue line. They got a couple of really good pieces. Connor Hellebuck's one of the best goaltenders, if not the best goaltender in the world. And their forward group is deep. I mean, a full year of Pierre-Luc Dubois. The Jets at 40-1 might be good value.
What about to win their division? What's their odds?
I can't find that anywhere. I'm digging around right now through like a couple different websites that have futures bets, but like all Bodog has up is just a bunch of awards ones, which it's kind of funny to look at the awards. Connor McDavid, third on the Rocket Richard list to score the most goals. He's plus 600. Matthews is plus 400. Draisaitl's plus 500. Those are your top three to win the Rocket Richard. And I love this. Connor McDavid to win the Art Ross, even money. You could it's basically McDavid versus the field at this point.
That's such a bullshit bet too, right? Because like, of course I want to bet on Connor, but like we talked about this last year.
It's not worth the squeeze. It's not worth the squeeze.
We talked about it last year, how we would have negative odds to go over 1.5 in a game. And it was ridiculous.
But you gotta love it. It's just, I love a badge of honor.
Yeah, no, I love it.
He's unbettable unless you just want to go and chase the dragon that he can sometimes slay in like those 5-point nights.
Yeah.
The only way to really bet on him is to do over 2.5 if you want positive odds. Which seems like such an aggressive bet.
And sometimes that's only like plus 130 or something. Like it's like it's
insane.
It's awesome. We should feel blessed that he's almost unbettable.
I will say this though, the one bet I just rattled it off, and then now that I'm thinking about it, I love it. Austin Matthews to win the Rocket Richard at 4-1. I mean, this guy won it by 8 goals. He had an 8-point lead on second place Connor McDavid last year, and he played 4 less games than Connor McDavid. And if you go back to 2019, 2020 as well, he was only 1 goal off Ovi and Pasternak that season. So I think Austin Matthews might be the bet to go win the Rocket Richard, and 4-1 is actually like pretty good value on that.
What's Ovi's
I'm going Connor. He wants that. He's missing that trophy on his display case, and he wants it.
Well, I think about that too, because if you remember when Crosby got his Rocket Richard, and he spent the whole summer talking about how I want to increase my goal scoring. And that's exactly the personality Connor has. So I wouldn't bet against him.
Ovi's 10-1.
10-1. He's chasing Gretzky. You never know. Ovi gets hot, stays healthy. The guy who fills the net. He does, but like he's like losing. He's soon to be no longer a 5-on-5 player. Like he's just like power play specialist, and that's it.
Yeah, I think he's still got a couple more good years in him. The thing about Ovi is that he's just stayed so healthy, right? Like, man, you got to respect that about the guy's career. He's basically never out of the lineup, and he plays like a physical brand.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's not a soft guy at all.
Yeah.
Just rattling off while we're doing the whole Kool-Aid season thing and talking about awards. Darnell Nurse, according to Bodog, is listed at 40-1 to win the Norris. Alberta boy Cale McCarr is the favorite at plus 400.
Sprinkling $5 on your boy Darnell, paying you 200. Like, oh, why not?
Why not? Our boy Dave Tippett is 25-1 to win the Jack Adams Award.
Well, if we have any type of success, then he is so worthy of it. So yeah. Check another 5 on Tip Stash.
When we get to the Art Ross, I mentioned McDavid at even money. Leon Draisaitl is plus 500, tied with Austin Matthews for the second best odds. And then,
which is interesting to me because one of those two has won it before, you know?
Yeah. And then Bodog has about 100 players listed on their Hart Trophy odds board. So I'm scanning through here to get all the Oilers. McDavid is plus 250 to win the Hart. I wonder if there might be a little bit of voter fatigue this year and they might look for reasons to not give it to Connor McDavid.
I agree with you, Tyler, but I want, like, if he goes up and puts up, say, I don't know, 135 plus points, what are you going to do?
So is McDavid at plus 250 a better bet than McDavid at even to win the Art Ross?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I think so.
Leon Draisaitl is 12-1. As I work my way down this list here to see if there's any other Oilers, Baggedmilk, you will love this. Bodog, they do have Ryan Nugent-Hopkins listed on their odds board.
Give it to me.
66-1 to win that Hart Trophy.
Oh, it's got to be more. Come on, that's you're getting greedy, Bodog.
Sprinkle a little love on the Nuge at 66.
Yeah, that is being disrespectful to the Nuge.
Unbelievable.
Should be 250-1.
I like this bet actually on Bodog. Jack Eichel 50-1 to win the Hart Trophy. Could Eichel go to another team and win the Hart Trophy in his first season, even though he's still currently a Sabre? I would say doubtful.
I just can't believe he's still there, to be honest. We're September 9th and it's still going on.
It's so good.
Well, I you know what? Like, I understand it's a shitty situation, but I respect that Buffalo just isn't going to get fleeced on it. Regardless of the trade, it's probably a fleece, but like they're digging in for their value.
The only thing I don't like that Buffalo is doing, like, I don't mind them digging in and being like, no, man, we're not trading you until we get good value. Let the dude have his surgery then. If he's not going to play for you anyways and he's going to sit out, let him get his surgery, because if he's fully healthy and he can get the surgery, maybe he'd be open to, hey, I'll come play for you guys for another month to like get back into game shape. I'll be fully healthy. I'll prove it. Then the value's there. So that's what I'd like to see Buffalo do. I don't think they will. It seems like both sides are pretty stubborn in this whole thing.
Extremely.
Yeah. Before we keep moving on here, got to give some love to our friends over at DoorDash. Ding dong. Ding dong. Ding dong. Promo code RealLifeDD gets new customers 25% off and no delivery fee on their first order. I am staring at my DoorDash app right now, and I'm seeing that you can order Oodle Noodle on there. I'm craving some green onion cakes. Give them to me now. If I ordered them right now, they'd probably be at my house by the end of this podcast.
Tyler, I have a question. You mentioned your green onion cakes. I've got a question for you. Have you ever had the butter chicken at Oodle Noodle before?
No.
Buddy, I'm going to change your life here.
Yeah.
Butter chicken and either the spring rolls or the green onion cakes, depending if you're feeling frisky, and you use it as a dipping sauce almost. It's life-changing.
So I got to say, keep me, your rem check. Make sure when I wrap this up, you keep me on the topic of DoorDash, because I got something to talk about that. But there's two things about Oodle Noodle I got to talk about. First off, we had a fire in our Clairview location yesterday. We had an electrical fire that happened yesterday morning. So Clairview is shut for a while here as we kind of go through the rebuilding process. So anyway, no one was hurt. Sending my love to Duke and Deanna, our franchisees. Don't you worry. We got your back. We'll get your store back up and running. So shout out to them, because they're probably going through a stressful time right now, but we will get you back on your knees. Secondly, about Oodle Noodle, we're doing some experimenting, if you will.
Go on.
So we are testing out, and I've tried it, and holy fucking shit, butter chicken mac and cheese. Just marinate on that.
I'm marinating on it.
Baggedmilk knows what the butter chicken tastes like. I've tried it. Game changer.
I can't, like, the thing, I can't picture it in my head. I just need to, I think I just need to attack it. I just need to attack it.
Can you explain it in a little bit more detail?
So butter chicken sauce,
okay,
macaroni, and cheese.
Okay. So
in my head, they sound like competing philosophies, but in my mouth,
I know. And this is the experiment they're trying, because Oodle Noodle, we feature 8 Asian countries on our menu, but we're going to lean into the noodle a little bit and get a little silly. So we're going to test out some macaroni, because you know what? We're Canadians. We love mac and cheese. So we're going to try to see if we can bring the macaroni noodle into the Oodle Noodle vernacular and put an Oodle Noodle spin on it by putting one of our most tasty sauces on it, fused with cheese, which I think other people also like. But like I said, I have tried it. And it is delicious.
My brain has got conflicting thoughts about it, but my stomach goes, "Oh yes, I'm in."
Yeah,
there's nothing to dislike about it.
And that's why you have to just taste it. So stay tuned. It might be, it could be a week away. It could be 2 months away. We're working through the whole process and function, because this is a franchise company. So we build a system to support our franchisees to make sure that this is something easy for them to execute on. So we're going through all that experimental stuff. So stay tuned.
That's interesting, Jay. Walk us through that just for a sec, real quick. Like, when you launch a new menu item like that, like, how does it get spread? Like, obviously you want it consistent. That's what makes Oodle Noodle what Oodle Noodle is. But how does that work to spread it around the locations?
Yeah, so like, first of all, it's like coming up with the idea. So we have us as the franchise team that are always kind of trying out new things. We got Sonny, our founder, and his factory trying new things. And then we also have our franchisees in store trying new things for us, and we'll walk in like, "Hey, try this," and we try to make stuff, and like, some interesting things. A bunch of new menu items have been born from it. But from idea to launch, basically, if everyone thinks it's a good idea, then we have our corporate trainer. His name is Mazen. He works on the recipe, and then he also starts talking to Sonny about how the factory can play a role into it. Does Sonny need to make the sauce? Do we need to outsource the sauce, or do we need to outsource, the macaroni? Like in terms of this type of dish. So like, we just figured out how we're going to supply it, and then we execute and perfect the recipe. So we'll probably do 3 to 5 tastings of different kind of iterations of it until we land on the one that we can do. And then basically, we always get Sonny's approval on anything that we do. So we make sure Sonny's on side with it. And then from there, we finalize the recipe for what needs to be a part of it. And then we put the system together, like, okay, you need to add, a cup of this, you need this much chicken, you need this much, macaroni, you need to cook it in the wok for this long, or you need to have these veggies prepped for it. You kind of just break it down. So it's like IKEA furniture, if you will, right? Like, you just like, you take item 1, add item 2, put it into item 3, then add item 4, put it in a box, serve.
There you go, Tyler.
I just got a really interesting lesson.
Little lesson on adding new menu items for you.
Baggedmilk, you ever work?
That's a franchise system too, in a nutshell, right?
Baggedmilk, you ever work in like a restaurant or work in like that industry?
I worked in a restaurant when I was backpacking in Asia, but I was just, the only thing I did was lure people into the restaurant via flyers for free food. So no, not really.
Jay, what about you?
Those guys are cool. I've worked in bars and restaurants.
Oh, I guess you ran a bar, but like when you were younger, were you ever like a server or a bartender? Yeah.
Well, when I was younger, I was Safeway grocery clerk.
I remember that. Yeah.
And then the dream was to become a bartender because they were cool. So then I became a bartender before I became a banker. So part of that is, depending, part of the bar game is you don't always get the sexy Friday night shifts, or if you do get them, you also have to work like the Sunday day shifts or whatever. So, you have to wear many hats if you're doing a day shift. You're the server, the bartender, the busser, you're all that stuff. So yeah, no, I've definitely got experience in that space. Now, could I, whip you together a delicious cappuccino or, make you the best oodle noodle of your life? Probably not. But, at some point I'll learn how to do that.
I always thought it'd be cool to be one of those like the flair bartenders. They're flipping the bottles around and shit. I like watching those guys. I'd probably drop too many things in.
Oh yeah. Well, you got to break a bunch of bottles to perfect that stuff.
Yep. Can't make an omelet without smashing a few eggs, Tyler.
Yeah.
Jay, what did you want me to remind you about DoorDash?
Oh, see, well done. So how to tie this back to DoorDash, because we're still on that DoorDash ad read. So this Friday, so I've made good buddies with our neighbors, and we have bonded over our mutual love of donaires.
Oh.
So we are starting a winter series. I shouldn't even say winter because it doesn't matter. I'm saying we're starting a series where once a month we get together, because he's a big red wine guy and I'm kind of wanting to learn and get into it a little bit. So we're doing a donaire and wine night one Friday a month. So we're going to pair.
An unlikely pairing.
Exactly. But I think I like them. I'm liking them both individually. So I feel like we can bring them into the fold together, and red wine goes nice with meat and stuff. So we're going to be DoorDash delivering some donaires. And then my neighbor friend Ryan is going to be, we're going to be doing some wine pairing.
I feel like I need to give out a shout out to Dangerous Wade for when we went on the nation vacation. He took a sommelier course and gave Jay a lovely bottle of red that he was carrying around Fremont later.
Yeah, he was on a wine course well on the nation vacation.
That was unreal.
That's how you put a weekend together.
I still have probably about 2 shots left of the amaretto he got me back at the beginning of the pandemic. And not because I'm refusing to drink. Well, I'm refusing to drink it because I want to savor it that bad. I'm like, no, come on, Tyler. There will be a better day to pour yourself a glass of that. But maybe like Oilers season opener this year, I'll do it.
I've got a bottle of Johnny Walker Blue Label that I've owned now for like 4 years, because like it's something special has to happen for me to touch it, because that bottle is expensive.
Yep. It's same with the bottle of rum that Dangerous Wade gave me as well. It's a sipping rum, whereas I'm more of a rum and Coke crush 'em guy. So I'm trying to find moments. I've had a couple of cubes in there, a little sipping. Makes me feel like a fancy boy, Tyler.
Yeah, that me too. And I still have a little bit of the Zambuca that he gave me as well, but I only save that for when I'm drinking with my dad, because he's the big Zambuca fan. Speaking of nation listeners, we got our nation NFL fantasy pool back off the ground again this year. It is myself, it is Jay, it is Chalmers, and then some of the listeners we got in there: John, Jordan, Rick, Brad. Shout out to Brad. Travis, Jesse, Captain Felton, Ian, and Dave. So that's what we're competing against this year. Last year, I made the controversial decision to hand over general manager duties to my girlfriend for this league.
Yes, you did.
And that sparked controversy, I suppose you could say. But this year, I am happy to announce I am back in full control of my team, and I'm ready to kick all y'all's asses. So giddy up.
Do you guys have like, I feel like this pool needs some kind of loser's bet. You know, I always like when I see those guys. I like when I see the guys wearing a dress.
24 hours in a Denny's.
Yeah, something like that. Or like wearing a dress on a corner and calling himself an asshole or something. I like that. I feel like this pool needs something like that.
We do need a public shaming.
How about this for a punishment? This is for the league me and my like kind of hockey slow pitch buddies are in. The person who comes in last place must pretend to be a part of a fake pyramid scheme on social media for 3 weeks. And the whole scheme gets to be designed by the person who came in first. And you can't say it's a joke until the end of the run.
You're going to be selling some moisturizers and hand creams or some garbage like that.
Yeah, like you can, whatever, like the person in first has the responsibility of like designing up a little Instagram post being like, DM me for details. Like I can make you money kind of thing. Like selling.
So then what do you do when someone does that?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
If somebody's like, if you're like, I want to buy your hand cream or spirit crystals or whatever, what's the play then?
Yeah.
I think at that point you'd have to tell them it's a joke.
Well, that's not no. You got to see it through. Like, but then
a little drop shipping here.
The punishment would be everyone you know on social media is sitting there going, "Holy shit, this guy's doing a pyramid scheme," and that's just kind of funny.
All I can see is a little extra side hustle money coming in. You know,
it's not a pyramid scheme; it's a triangle of success.
Yeah, it's a funnel.
Multi-level marketing.
Yep.
Anyways, yeah, that's our punishment, and yeah, the Denny's one, I don't know. I feel like that one's, or the IHOP one where you got to eat the pancakes. I feel like that one's overdone now. I feel like everyone knows about it.
24 hours in the Denny's is intense.
Well, and every pancake, well, this is at a Waffle House, every pancake you eat knocks off an hour.
Oh,
yeah.
That's tough.
Some of the TikToks you'll see of guys who have to do that punishment, and they're like 7 pancakes in, and they're like, I'm legitimately going to make myself throw up so I can keep eating them to get out of this place. But that's hard, man. Because like once you get enough of those in you, I'd imagine they just sit like fucking cement.
Just dry. Really don't dry. Don't want to see it. Like, how about 24 hours in a car? I don't know what you would do to knock down the hours, but 24 hours in a car. Table now.
There was one, and I always kind of tried to force it with our group, but I swear it was like Jordan Eberle and his buddies, and the loser had to get a belly button ring.
Oh, that's sweet. I like that.
Yeah,
Tyler, you look great with a belly button ring.
Oh, that makes me cringe so hard. Can you imagine if it like got infected or something?
How long you got to keep it for?
The year.
That's rough.
Or maybe forever. Maybe it becomes part of you. Maybe you didn't know you didn't need such a beautiful accessory in your naval region.
Once upon a time when we used to do North by Northgrats, shout out to RIP to that podcast. We had a thing where if we tried to get 2,000 Twitter followers by a certain date, the person whose personal account grew the slowest had to get a dangly earring. And you know who welched on it was Chris the intern. It was the best idea. We even had earrings made. They were so funny. So good.
Didn't you guys also do a bet once, or was this just for Cam's like last day where everyone had to get like Oilers name? Oh, it was the Milan Lucic goal pool you guys did.
The goal draft. So we're supposed to buy Coombs jerseys, and I'm ready to go. He's just never picked the number he wants me to get. I'll wear a Coombs jersey.
That is so good.
Yeah, I'd buy that right now. I keep telling him, just pick my number. I'll get it. The Milan Lucic goal draft. He won that in one night because Lucic scored 2 goals in one night, and that was the end of it. Draft over.
The one about staying in your car for 24 hours, like one, your legs would just eventually just be so sore. That'd be so annoying. And also like, at least at the Denny's, you could drink, right? You could have like a couple of beers and maybe you could like nap in the booth or something. In the car, you can't like drink in your car. That's against the law. So that one would really fucking suck. Although maybe in Edmonton, you could do something like, I don't know, 20 or 48 hours in your car, but every lap you drive around the Henday takes an hour off.
I like that. How long is a lap around the Henday?
I think it
like
takes
60 Ks or something. Like
it takes like 45 minutes. Yeah. Depending on how fast you're going, I guess.
How long is the Henday?
I think.
All right. So I'm looking, I just Googled some fantasy football.
77.95 kms.
Oh, so it's less than an hour? Well, there's a little construction here on the west side, so you're going to have to slow down.
Do that at 150 and you can bang it out in 12 hours.
How's this for you, Tyler? A nice Brazilian for the loser.
Oh man. That's fucked.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Here's piercings, either navel or ear. You have to wear a Boy Scout uniform for a week.
That's okay.
That'd be nice.
It's like a Big Brother punishment.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of these are just costumes. Oh, I always love the ones where the guy really aggressive and the person has to get a tattoo. I'm not saying that the real life pool should do that, although maybe it should because I'm not in it. A nice tattoo, Tyler, maybe your first. That look really nice. Or, this one would be good for this one. A male boudoir photo shoot for the loser. That would be so good. Could you imagine Chalmers?
Post Brazilian.
Of course. I mean, what are we doing here? Could you imagine Chalmers losing the nation real life football pool?
Chalmers would be George. Like I've seen both their bodies. Chalmers would pull it off just like George.
Yeah, I like this. A boudoir shoot for the loser. That'd be really nice.
I'm adding Chalmers George Costanza Photoshop. Surveyor Brett, do your thing.
Meme team, you're on it.
Or Nico or whoever. Yeah. Someone, first one to get me that.
The eyebrow of shame, where you got to shave off only one and you have to decide then as the loser what to do with the other.
How fast does it take eyebrows to grow back?
I don't know. I've never lost an eyebrow. Knock on wood.
Like I got a bit of a unibrow thing going on, but that's just like every 4 months I fucking wax right down the pipe. Oh yeah, I get my sister to do it. It's a family bonding thing.
So if you lose, if you finish dead last, I want you to grow it out for a year.
Oh yeah, just the unibrow salute.
Not
How
that
thick
bad
does it
right
get
now,
down
actually.
the middle?
It doesn't get that bad. Like what you're looking at right now on the screen, like there's not really a lot there, but that's probably about.
Well,
2
have you
months.
given it a year? Like you got to give it some time.
Yeah.
You've never given it the confidence to think that it can grow.
I think I've started to weed it down a little bit actually because I'm consistent in my waxings.
Yeah, it's a war of attrition, I guess.
I had something else to say. Fuck. Yeah, okay, the eyebrow growing back. Someone got to get on the Google on that. How long does it take an eyebrow to grow back?
How's this one, Tyler? You'd like this one. If you lose, you have to do a sexy beer poster shoot.
That's good because then everyone in the league has something to remember. That's actually not a bad one.
And it would just be hilarious. Again, I'm thinking Chalmers, and he's got he's covered in suds or something. That'd be really nice.
How long does it take for eyebrows to grow back? When it comes to eyebrow regrowth, patience is key. Give it at least 2 to 3 months to see hair growth. The hair growth cycle for eyebrows is between 3 and 4 months. You need enough time for hair to respond to your changes. That seems like a beauty thing, not necessarily I lost my whole eyebrow in a fantasy football bet thing. But 4 months, I guess. I don't know. Maybe a listener has had this happen to them.
Butler on demand, so that each person in the fantasy league gets to summon the loser for a weekend for Butler duties when they choose.
See, so that's
only the winner could do that because that's 12
like 11.
or 11 weeks.
Yeah, that's a little bit too much.
That's yeah.
I like that one. Butler on demand.
How about this for a punishment? Last place has to buy everyone in the fantasy football draft an item of their choosing from our friends at Twig and Berries. twigandberries.ca, where we have the promo code Nation15. And also, if you're cheap like me, you'll like this. The end of summer sale right now, twigandberries.ca. They got some shorts, they got some hoodies, they got some t-shirts, a nice gray golf shirt as well. It's called the Justin golf shirt. It's actually very nice. This was my first time seeing this product, and I'm actually quite fond of it. Find it all, twigandberries.ca.
Male romper bar hopping. How's that for a loser, Ben?
Oh, I feel like a male romper would be a very comfortable article of clothing.
I agree. Tyler, I think you'd look sensational in male romper, if I'm being honest.
As long as there's a zipper in the bottom to make bathroom breaks quicker.
Oh, I think you just get the buttons in the bum, like a baby romper.
Yeah, but that doesn't help with the front scenario.
Well,
you need a zipper or something there because I don't want to have to strip down. I'll do it, but Oilers Nation opening party next season. If I come last in the fantasy football draft, I will wear a male romper to the next Oilers Nation party.
Can somebody clip that? Somebody clip that. Yeah. Brett, Surveyor Brett, we need you to clip that.
Put it in the bank, Brett.
Tyler will wear a male romper to the season opener party if he loses the Nation real life football pool.
I come last. I need to come last. I'm very confident in my ability to not. There's 12. I'm very confident in my ability to not come last in any of my fantasy football leagues.
What if we try to push for shenanigans where the 11 unite against one?
If everyone wants to see me in a romper that bad that they would throw away their chances at winning, like the $200 pot, feel free.
What's $200 worth to you people? Cooperation against Tyler. That's what it's worth.
Speaking of Kool-Aid drinking season, Leon Draisaitl has been active on Instagram. And I just want to say there is nothing that gets me more excited as a fan than when Leon Draisaitl posts like a picture of the boys celebrating and is like fired up, ready to go. Like he posted one today and it's him, Nuge. I think that's Barry, McDavid, and Chase on hugging. Would have been a power play goal. And he just put anyone else getting excited, ... And it's like, fuck, man, that fires me up.
I would say that Leon does the best job with social media of any of the Oilers. Like,
yeah,
hands down.
100%. Like McDavid, we've talked about this before, but like McDavid's all about like the bio steal and all that shit and just whatever. There's never like a just fired up for the boys kind of post. Leon Draisaitl's Instagram is almost all just I'm fired up for the boys posts.
Yeah, I was like that. I like to know what he's into. Also, he's watching tennis the other day. Big sports guy.
He's a Puma athlete.
How's this one, Tyler? You lose the Nation real life football pool and you have to run a pink lemonade stand. That'd be nice.
Yeah, actually, that's actually not a bad one. If it was something like like, you know, you got to be outside for 8 hours on a Saturday slinging free lemonade to whoever wants it with a sign that says like, I suck at fantasy football, buy my lemonade.
In January.
Oh, yeah, keep it spicy.
That sucks. That'd be
Well,
big.
when's the Super Bowl? February? So as soon as the Super Bowl's over.
Yeah. Okay. You can sell warm lemonade. That's
Yeah, that'd be the twist. Almost like a cider even.
Yeah. So just so you can maybe get a customer or two.
Wow.
Otherwise, that's going to be a long weekend. I really like this boudoir shoot. Tyler or Jay or any of those guys in there doing a boudoir shoot for a fantasy loss is hilarious.
I'd be in on Brad Stepanko doing that. I'd like to see that. Hello.
I bet Stepanko already does it. I could see him
Maybe.
doing it. You know, he's got slicked up the hair, beard's looking good. I get it. I can see
He'd
it.
rock it. He'd actually probably rock it better than anyone else in that league.
Absolutely would. I believe it.
Episode 312 Real Life Podcast. Just the three of us here. No Wanye, no Chalmers because they have jobs and they got in the way of the pod today. Happy 80th birthday to Rod Phillips. We're sort of getting towards the end of the podcast, so I wanted to make sure we got that out there. I give him a shout out on the Instagram as well. The GOAT radio voice of the Edmonton Oilers turns 80 today.
Do you have ties, like, because you're younger than us, do you have ties to Rod Phillips, or is it just a little bit, are you a little bit too young?
No, not really. Like, I remember the game where they put his name in the rafters and all that, but I don't actually have like memories of listening to Rod on the radio. He was a little bit before my time.
He retired 11 years ago. That it feels like it was 2 years ago.
Right? Like, Jack's been our radio guy now for 11 years. That's wild.
So wild.
Before the games were all on TV, I remember when games started getting put on A channel. And that was exciting. You would always get like a handful of games on TV, Oilers games specifically. And I just remember Rod Phillips was the best because I would sit out in the garage with my dad doing whatever. He's a beekeeper as a hobby, Tyler. And I'd be building
apiary.
Yeah, an apiarist. I would be building frames or beehives and often listening to Rod Phillips. So that's what it makes me think of. Happy birthday, Rod.
Jay, you got Rod memories?
Oh, geez. Well, it's just that voice. Like, Rod was good. Amazing voice, really knew how to capture and provide imagery for the game through audio, and really captured and portrayed that energy that those games provided or that they were creating. So no, he's a legend. Like, it's tough to beat Rod Phillips in hockey radio announcing. I would love to see who you could put him up against that could beat him. So he's an Edmonton treasure. We're lucky to have him for as long as we did. But for me, I just remember, like, as a kid, like driving around or whatever, like, you know, radio was a big thing and at that time. So listen to his voice, even as a kid, like there's just lots of, there's no like specific memories. There's just like this chapter of my life where Rod was in my head in a good way.
Yeah,
absolutely. I was speaking of announcers. I wonder if, or Tyler, do you know if Cam Moon?
Cam Moon.
Yeah. And Jack are going to split time this year again.
That is a good question. Mooner actually just texted me. We were talking about the Blue Jays. I'm not sure what the plan is.
Nice.
Jays are rolling.
Yeah, the Jays are fucking rolling. But yeah, I would imagine Mooner's going to be back in some capacity this upcoming season here.
Because I never heard him before last season when Jack was doing TV and I was driving somewhere. He does a really good call too. I always like when guys have their own little flavor, and he certainly does.
And he is, like, I've met Jack a few times, and Jack is one of the nicest people. Cam Moon is just, oh man, that personality, I love him. He's such a beauty. He actually goes all the way back to, because he's a dub guy. That's how I know him. He did the Rebels play-by-play for a long, long time. My uncle actually used to ref in the dub and did like a couple of WHL finals and all that. So my uncle and Cam Moon got close that way. And then I eventually got to know Cam through doing stuff with the Oil Kings and all that good stuff. And he'll just text me like out of the blue just to be like, fucking rights, Blue Jays. I'm like, damn right, Mooner, let's go. And there's been a lot of that recently because the Jays have won 7 games in a row, and I'm fired up about that.
Should be. They're fun.
I'm going to be in Toronto next weekend to watch a couple of Jays games. And I am like, it's pretty much all I can think about right now. I'm so excited.
Of course, another vacation for Tyler.
Yeah, Tyler is just like, he's a pro. He's a pro vacation guy.
You're the opposite of work so hard, forgot how to vacation. From Post
vacation so hard I forgot how to work.
That's right. That's exactly
like,
it.
You don't get like Tyler does not put those inspirational posts on social media saying how you have to do the work.
Yes.
You got to do the vacation. That is the work.
He is never on the grind.
No.
He's away from the grind. Avoiding.
He's away. Yeah.
Hashtag avoid the grind.
Avoid the grind.
That is actually fucking a fantastic thing for me to start using. I'm writing that down.
Hashtag avoid the grind.
Avoid the grind. Oh man, if you get it, you get it. That is a good one. All right. I'm probably going to start wrapping up this week's episode of the pod. Are we going to do Nation Real Life Pick'em again for NFL stuff?
Yes,
why wouldn't we?
Absolutely.
We probably as the winner. Of course we should.
Okay.
Like there's some things that we're going to be talking about in the gambling space here soon. So stay tuned. That I'm very excited about. So yes, we will be doing that, and I can't wait. So if you want to hear my picks for tonight, I don't know what it is. I am just going off of my fucking gut that
as you do,
taking Cowboys and the points. Tonight. I don't think Tampa's going to come out as hot as everyone thinks. I don't know why. I don't know why. I can't quantify it.
Also, I think Dallas is going to be good this year. Like I like their O-line. I like Zeke. I like Dak. Their receivers are sick. I think their defense will hold their own. I am taking, you know me, I'm a big teaser guy. Hop on the teaser train. Choo choo.
Big insurance guy.
But take the Cowboys, tease them up to 15.5. They can keep it within 2 touchdowns tonight. That's easy money.
For what, minus 190?
And then you add in over 46.5. So you got the Cowboys plus 15.5, over 46.5 pays even money. Hello.
Are you going for a can't miss parlay here already?
Oh, I'm a big can't miss parlay. Jay and I are the exact opposite when it comes to betting. Jay loves to be like, take the smoke, like betting with my heart. I got a gut feeling this is going to hit. I like to sit there and lean back and go, all right, let's play it safe here. Kind of like my golf game, 230 up the middle, and just play it safe. Don't get greedy.
I do chase the juice a bit. I do bet with my heart a bit, but I like to put some thought into it. But I don't like. I don't like parlays get risky. And I get if you're teasing them and doing all that stuff, you're trying to really game the outcome. But at the end of the day, like how much are you going to bet on that, and how much are you going to win on that?
Jay and I were talking yesterday. We had a meeting about some content stuff, and I'm going to do risky business a little bit different this year, Tyler. And it's going to be on the website this year as opposed to an Instagram thing. So it's going to be interesting to see when I stop or start betting with my heart. I'm starting that way.
Oh, 100%.
You got to. But it's going to be interesting to track as the year goes on, because now there are going to be articles on game days this year for risky business of just how it looks and how it works and how it moves as the season goes on through the ups and downs of an Oilers year. I'm excited.
I'm hoping I can fire up the Dog Park Insider again this winter.
The Dog Park Insider.
Yeah, every time I'd run into an Oiler the night before a game at the dog park, they would score.
It is the
automatic. Dominic Cahoon I ran into. Like that's pretty fucking magic if you run into him at the dog park and then bet on him to score the next game, and he does.
Yep. He needed to run into at the dog park more often because he is off to Switzerland.
It's we should have consulted and turned it into a bromance of some variety.
So we're doing NFL Pick'em. So how should we do it this year? Because we'll make this a fun little contest. Should we do 3 picks each week against the spread? 1 pick each week against the spread? Is that the way to do it?
What did we do last year? I don't remember. Just 1?
I think we just did 1.
Yeah, we just did 1, and we get Scott Hastings to pound off 3 because he's the pro.
So the 3 of us.
Yeah, we should do season-long record, and then we should have a prize.
Like a prop, some kind of prop. I love me a prop.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I can get behind a prop. We owe it to everyone.
I also agree on a prize or punishment. If you've got ideas for a prize or a punishment for this pick'em this season for the real life crew, hit us up, Nation Real Life on Twitter and Instagram. I want to know.
Yeah. For Tyler's, he'd have to work a full 40-hour week schedule.
Yep. For
See
3 to 4 consecutive weeks, like a whole month of 40 straight hour weeks.
Yeah, 1 month without vacation.
Hashtag avoid the grind.
So what's the plan here? One pick against the spread, and then you want one prop?
Yeah, prop.
Yeah.
A prop of your choosing.
Okay. I didn't think about it because we'd have to make them right now then, because week one's coming up. Or for week one, will we give ourselves some time and we'll just pick them?
Fuck off. You want my lock right now? You want do you want to hear? You want to hear the truth?
Well, sure, give it to me.
Well, let me look into it. Bear with me.
You know what? I'll do my pick. Chiefs to cover the spread over the Browns. Boom, there it is.
Fuck you.
Right? I knew I just had to do it for you because I see you're wearing.
I'm wearing my brown shirt today because it's kickoff to the season.
I know, and I felt disrespectful about it, so that's why I'm going Chiefs. They'll cover the spread.
I know we aren't announcing our new betting partner yet, but I'm just going to say, for the sake of continuity within our picks, you need to be using I'm using the odds from who I believe is our new betting sponsor on the site.
Okay.
So that's where cool. I'm going for my odds here. All right. I'm also designing a spreadsheet on the fly here. This is very real life-ish.
Yeah, we're workshopping here, people. This is how it goes.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll have a week one spread and then a week one prop.
I'm going, this is all day, because for some reason they've got magic. It is Dolphins +3 against the Pats.
Miami +3. All right.
I like this. Juicy. First bets of the year going in.
Yeah.
And then what are your props, man?
Ooh. All righty.
I feel like getting into it tonight.
You want to? I'm going with my Browns somewhere. Let me see.
Baggedmilk, you wanted Kansas City to cover the spread?
Yep.
Kansas City -5.5 against the Cleveland Browns. KC -5.5. And what's that? What's that? A little -110 action on there. Okay. I'm looking around here. I like my Bills, but 7.5. I don't like having to get that. Oh no, it's -6.5 on this site. Yeah, Bills -6.5. I'm betting with my heart, pulling a J down. Buffalo -6.5 at -110.
How's this for my prop here, Tyler?
Okay.
Ready? I got a Gronk anytime touchdown tonight. Let's go.
What do we got that at there?
+240.
Okay. I don't mind that.
Gronk anytime touchdown. Let's go.
Yeah. You know what? I actually like the idea of isolating a prop to all the same game. We should do a Thursday night prop.
Yeah. Okay. Because we record on Thursdays. I like that.
All right.
Yeah.
So there you go. There's my prop. Gronk anytime touchdown. Let's go, baby. Let's go, big man. Speaking of while you guys are looking around, I watched there was a video with Gronk just kind of floating around Twitter the other day, and part of it had clips from when he was in high school. He was a fucking machine in high school, just towering over people, just amazing. Absolute unit, that guy.
Fuck.
Player receptions? Yes.
What is CD Lamb's total yards?
CD Lamb's total yards, it's set at 61.5.
Yeah, over
61.5. CD Lamb.
Yep.
I also like doing this segment because it teaches me more about the NFL, because I got to pay attention.
I'm sure our diehard hockey fan listeners will love this segment here as well. But you know what? He's got to deal with it.
You know what? We'll also be throwing all kinds
football.
of bets.
We all bet on football, of course.
We'll be throwing all kinds of bets on hockey when that comes around too. So don't worry, fair listeners.
Yeah, what I was thinking actually was us doing. Maybe there's even a way for me to figure out how to get the listeners in on this. If we did like an NHL pick'em, where on Thursdays we talk about like the Saturday matchups, and then we can find a way to like maybe do a pool of some sort, like a box pool, where like you pick Saturday night games.
You shut your mouth for 1 minute. We are actually working with a company right now that does exactly that, but they do it for every game night. Okay. So like you enter a draft room, you have to pick all the winners. So they We could do the Saturday night special, and we can invite and bring in real life listeners into it.
Well, I'm glad I shut the fuck up to hear that.
Yeah, well, I didn't say fuck up. I just said, well, maybe I did. Did I?
You always shut my mouth.
Oh, shut your mouth. Yeah, way more polite. Much more professional.
Well, you guys are working on your props here. Oilers have announced some of their rookie camp details and roster. Konovalov is going to be there. He's probably the one I'm most excited about to see what he does.
Yeah, come on, buddy.
Broberg will be there. Kesselring, Berglund, Niemelainen, Samorukov, Kemp, Holloway, Bourgault, Lavoie, Tullio, fresh contract this week.
Hey.
And Maximov as well among the invitees. Rookie game, September 18th. Home, no fans. 20th on the road, both versus Calgary, according to Daniel Nugent-Bowman.
My prop for the Thursday nighter is Zeke Elliott over 3.5 receptions at -104. So that's
we should get Chalmers to pick something tonight, even though he's not on the podcast, just so we can maintain.
I already texted him. I said, give me 3 NFL picks. And he said, okay. And then I said, never mind. We're doing 1 pick against the spread and then 1 player prop. And then he said, okay. Then I said, actually, the prop has to be from tonight's game. So I really changed up the rules and rattled them around. Now he's just not texting me back.
You're going to get a mixed bag of answers.
But that's, you know what? This is how we workshop live on the podcast. We came up with an idea for the season and we executed.
Real life, man.
You can send us your NFL lock and your NFL Thursday night prop on Twitter, and we'll have some fun with you if you're right. And we'll give you some love on the podcast here. We're going to be talking a lot of betting this year, whether it's hockey or football. And if you don't like it, I don't know, deal with it, whatever. Or as Jay says, shut your mouth.
Yeah, shut your mouth.
Hashtag avoid the grind.
Yep.
Hashtag avoid the grind. All right, we could probably wrap this one up here. We hit the hour mark. You know, I don't want to grind out any more than an hour of the Real Life podcast.
Or at all.
Yeah, the billable hours have ended now.
Shout out to HGA Group and Twig in Berries. And of course, like every podcast here at the Nation Network, we are delivered by DoorDash. Ding dong.
Ding dong.
Thank you. This has been
Friday Don't Aaron Wines. Thanks. Thank you to DoorDash.
Yep. Bingo. Episode 312. Shout out to Chalmers and Wanya, even though they couldn't be here today. Shout out to Jay and Baggedmilk because they were here today. I'm Tyler Remchuk. Have a fantastic weekend. Enjoy week 1 of the NFL season, and we will talk again on Monday. I promise.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Real Life Podcast. Don't want to miss any of our nonsense? Hit the subscribe button and give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram.